Hey guys, so I'm here at the Vintage Market Days in Mobile. I'm really excited to share with you some of the cool stuff I'm finding. This has been going on since Friday, but I finally made it over because this was the weekend I moved into my new booth. But I figured I might as well come down here and check it out. They are open till 3, and so hopefully I get to see a couple of cool things in the couple hours I've got. So walking in, it is definitely less crowded than it usually is when I get here on a Friday at 9 a.m. It is Sunday at like 12:30. So I'm expecting there will not be a lot of crowds, but the vendors are still here, and who knows, maybe they will be motivated to move some of their merchandise. In any case, I love coming here because I get so much inspiration for my booths, and also I love seeing what people have. So come on, let's check it out. Such cute shelf sitters here. This is Martha Herring from Enterprise, Alabama. And she has lots of cute things. So I've gotten some risers for my booth. That will be fantastic. I think these little ones will be perfect to display just one individual teacup or to be able to set something apart. So this booth has some really pretty vintage linens. I picked up a few pieces to make some handbags out of, perhaps.
I'm gonna do.
We have a lot of really cool stuff. I love this little planter made out of a roll of thread. Super cute idea. What do you see here that you would pick up? I'm always looking for booths that actually have some vintage or antique stuff in them. There's lots of new things here, which is also really fun. But what I'm looking for are some good vintage or antique pieces. I mean, let's be honest. Antique is 100 years old. Most stuff is vintage that we're looking for. And they have a lot of really cute stuff here. Here is another great booth that has some really cool vintage stuff in it. I love this picture with the rooster. I just came into a whole bunch of rooster things, but most of them are newer. It's fun to see vintage ones. Got a really cool little vintage notepad here. And of course, this enamel is so pretty. Love that basket, and look at that fabulous lantern. I have a lot of lanterns like that in red, but the blue is really cool. So many glasses. I love those. And then in the back, we've got fabulous dishes of different kinds. We've got a McCoy teapot. We've got some Wedgwood, that really sweet soup tureen there. Oh my goodness, I love this rocking horse trike. That one is fantastic. They're asking $75. It is a fabulous little statement piece. Of course, one of my favorite things to see is that as I walk in, it's Alyssa's. My people are right at the front.
Everything's empty.
I will show you.
It's not beautiful right now.
It's gorgeous.
But we're trying.
I will show you all this. So I love Alyssa's because you've got so many different kinds of vendors. They have yummy food, of course. They have these fabulous candles, and I wish they had balsam fir, but I know I have to stock up on them at Christmas. I don't see any here. Balsam fir is my very favorite. And then they bring in the stuff from all their vendors, which is just so cool. I love that they're so involved in the community, and so, you know, they participate in things like this market. So let's see what treasures we find here. I'm loving this beaded purse. Ooh, 60% off. What in the world? How much are they asking for this? I'm gonna have to check into that because you know me and a beaded purse. Love. All right. Jar of buttons. I must make myself pass up on that because how many buttons do you have, Kate? I have a few. Ooh, look at this quilt. 25% off of the quilt. That's really cool. So it's 85, 25% off of that. It's a good deal on a quilt. And then, you know, you've got newer stuff. It's just kind of decor. It has that vibe. And I don't mind the mix of old and new. I spy a dog. I do love a dog. Let's see what you are. Oh my goodness, he's $8.99. Dog, I think you're coming home with me. Ooh, look at that beautiful brass bowl for $16. That is so pretty. I love that. Hey, buddy. I love also a painted tray. That is gorgeous for $14. A lot of the vendors at Alyssa's really have great pricing, so that's something to also check out. Love these little wooden buoys. They look new, but they're still a great little decor piece. I love that vintage boat paddle. Wouldn't that look cute just in the corner of the room? See that with a beachy kind of theme. Okay, these are some really beautifully done pillowcases in pretty condition. I think I may have to pick those up. Oh my goodness, we have egg gathering aprons. What more does one need? And they're adorable. Or you could put anything else in that big pocket. Video of the market. Sweet little cranberry glass pitcher. Pilgrim for $15. I love how voluminous this is. Isn't that pretty? This is coming apart a little bit. They're asking $29. It's Fenton. Very pretty. That was so much fun. I love the vintage market days because you've got all kinds of vendors doing all sorts of different things. Lots of new things, but also many antiques, vintage, you know, the stuff I love. I want to show you some of my favorites. I've decided not to show you every single thing that I purchased. I did get myself a new outfit and I love it. There's something about the vibe of the vintage market that I always find some new piece that I love. But let me show you a few things that I picked out, mostly for my booths. The first thing you saw me get on the video were these great risers. I love this one for displaying one little piece. Isn't that pretty? It just shows it off. And then this riser, you know, I can use it to get things up on different levels, which is really important in my antique booth. I also, for the same purpose, got these aqua boxes. I love this color. It's really beachy and cute. So I might use them at my house at some point, but for right now, they're going in my booth, probably at Alyssa's, because I just need more levels at that spot. So I always love picking up things like this for display because it provides an automatic background, you know, and then whatever you put in there, it just gives, okay, that's there we go. You know, it just gives it a little frame. So that's really cool. So I have those pieces that are more practical, right? But so cute. So there was one lady who had so many different things. She is basically cleaning out her supplies. It was also her daughter's. They were all cleaning out the things. And apparently she's been there 2 years. And I think I remember her from last year. But she was selling a ton of vintage linens. So you know that's my thing. Got some kind of simple pieces. These are amazing. New old stock of this. I think it's from a mailing catalog because you've got, you know, shopping at home since 1934, but have you seen these before? I know I've got a bunch of them already. These applique napkins and placemat. I love this, and I got 3 of them. 3 of this set, and then 1 of the little green one. Aren't those so cute? So I will probably sell those in my eBay store. We'll see. I got these beautiful pillowcases, just so vibrant. There's some staining on them. Might use this a different project, but they are pretty spectacular. So we'll see. I might just leave them as pillowcases. I love this. Look at this. Little man and lady doing chores on a Friday. Isn't that cute? Now some of it is left undone. I might go in and stitch over it, or I may just leave it. To me, kind of looks like a mixed media when you have the pencil and the stitching. So might leave that as it is. We got some of these. I love this pattern. And let's see, a few doilies. I love little pieces like this because I can use them on a handbag or as an accent, or I can use them on a journal as a little pocket. Love vintage hankies. Lots of pretty pieces. This one has some damage, so I may just use that part. And look at that trim. That is just waiting to go on something. Love the white on white. Isn't that so pretty? This one is so delicate and kind of unassuming, but also really beautiful when you look at it up close, that you could just use it anywhere, to anywhere you want a vase to not scratch your table or something like that. It doesn't draw tons of attention to itself, unlike this one, which is amazing. Look at this table runner. Look at that pattern. I just think that is so striking and graphic. So that's definitely staying as it is. Same with this. Again, kind of a basic table runner, but really useful. I have several other pieces like this little guy. This one has quite a bit of damage, so probably will free the little cornucopia, use it in a project. I love this. Isn't that pretty? I mean, perfect detail on something. It's so cute. This one is just plain, but it's a lot of cool fabric. I love stitching into old fabric. It's so soft, and I'm making bunnies right now, so this might become a bunny rabbit, not totally sure. And then I love doilies like this because there's enough room in the center for me to stitch little flowers or something else. This is a whole set of smaller pieces, these little kind of placemats, but they're pretty stained up, so I will probably end up using the embroidery, using the crochet. Sometimes I'll even shred leftover fabric and put it in a stuffed animal or something. If it's not nice, it doesn't look good. Some stained fabric I use as it is. I'm working on a cutter quilt right now where I'm making bunnies out of it, and it has some spots on it, but it's part of the story. So sometimes I just leave it. But if it's not looking good, then I can always shred it and use it for something else. Got this entire little collection of doilies. I love them. I love using little pieces of them or the whole thing on a purse or something. This I'm seeing as the side of a tote bag, and then I might add something in the middle. Isn't that fabulous? I love that. So that has a destiny, more doilies. So these people had a lot of linens. Oh my gosh, look at this one. Isn't that cute? Now this pillowcase isn't in the best condition, so I very well may utilize that whole piece on a bag or something like that. These pillowcases I got at the Alyssa's booth, and they are in fantastic shape. So these probably, it's yellowed, so that's the only thing. Tell me in the comments, if you see yellowed pillowcases, are you just like, I don't want those? That's fair. I don't want to OxyClean it because I don't want anything to happen to the embroidery. But the embroidery part is in perfect condition, so I could just cut those out and use them on another project. Tell me what you think. Curious. Okay, check this one out. Whoa! I don't find a lot of embroidery on super colorful fabric. It's like a lot of white. This thing is phenomenal. Now, there's damage on the crochet there, but know, that would make such a cute apron. We'll see. It wants to be something special. I can tell you that much. This is really old. Little, what is it? I think it's like a cross stitch. And it has kind of a big flower in one corner. They often do. They'll have like a feature in one corner. Yeah, here it is. And then they'll have the smaller piece on the other corners. This is kind of stained up. I will probably use the different embroideries on different projects. Okay, check this one out. Look at that shirt. I don't know when it's from. Let's see. 34. So it's probably a 34 bust. That makes it what? Like a size 8, maybe 10? Anyway, it's pin tucked in the back, like little, it's really pretty. Now it does have some stains on it. And I think for display, it's just beautiful as it is. If somebody wanted to wear it, you could certainly try washing it with some Oxy. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I kind of like the story of how it is. But I do love all of that embroidery work on it. Isn't that pretty? Love that. So that might go on Etsy. We'll see. Some things I like to put on Etsy if they're more historic or vintage, like baby sweater. My word. Little kind of buttery yellow baby sweater with sailboat buttons. Can you? Oh, so cute. So I'm thinking that might go in my Etsy store. It's just so sweet. So the lady who has the linens also had some various sewing notions, which is kind of no surprise. Some threads here. This is a Woolworth paper note little needle book for 10 cents. Yeah, those needles are pretty rusty. But if somebody collects sewing ephemera, this would be cool. I may throw it in my Etsy shop and just see what happens. Because somebody out there would love that. Darning mushroom. And these are really cool because they unscrew and in the handle, they have needles. So they're darning needles. They look a little bit, well, they're not bad. They're a little oxidized, I think. I don't think they're rusty. I'll have to run them through some fabric and see if they, get anything on the fabric. You could always replace them with some new needles. But this one, I don't know. I don't really do a lot of darning, so I'll probably put it in my Etsy shop. Isn't that cute? I love it. All right, that same lady had a few hard goods too. Silver plate, creamer, and sugar. I love silver because it reflects the light around, and so I think they look really pretty on an Easter table. Even if not everything is silver, they just shine and have a little bling. Add that onto your Easter table. So I think that's fun. Speaking of bling, you guys saw me pick this up. Remember the beaded purse? It's very clean inside and made in Hong Kong. So I'm guessing, I don't know. I mean, it could be, I don't know what era. I need to do a little more research, but it is such a pretty beaded purse. Little kiss clasp that works really well. I read somewhere that is coming back, so can't go wrong with an evening purse. And I like the light color. It'd be perfect for an evening out in the spring or summer. So cute. That same lady, okay, I love this. Now they had it in a frame, which I took it out. It's the piece with the praying hands. I just thought that was really cool. You could totally picture this at your grandma's house. And they have glued it to a piece of cardboard. I will probably take it off because I highly doubt this is acid-free cardboard and it could hurt this fabric over time. So I'll probably either soak it or cut it off of the paper, and there's still plenty of room to put it in a good frame. You could put it on a pillow. It's a thought. But I think it's kind of the right shape to be framed. So I think that's what we're gonna do with that one. All right, she also had an ashtray. I love ashtrays and things like this. They're perfect for a votive candle, or you can put your change in there or some earrings, jewelry. Have it by your bedside table or by your, like in your dressing area, and you can put stuff in there. This is really cute. I love brass. It's just cool. It has texture. Speaking of texture, there was another lady had these wooden spools. And what I love about these is that they're already this great set to display. You got a red one, a dark wood, and this color. They would look so cool on a shelf or on a mantle. They just kind of make a little moment. So these will probably go on Etsy or eBay. Might put them in my shop. I have so much stuff in my shop right now that I may put them online. It's cool. Okay, look at this. It's a Bakelite needle. Like for, I think yarn, it must be because it's a massive eye. Look at that. But isn't that cool? Yeah, Bakelite, it's like an early plastic. So that is cool. That kind of goes with this whole theme. Same lady, no surprise there. Let's see. Oh, she also had this canister. Is that so cool? Now, this is the front. I don't love that as much as I love this. So if I had this on my shelf, this is the side I'd probably have out. But this side is pretty cool too. When is this from? I don't know, 70s? I have to do some more research, but I just thought that was cool. So I picked it up. And of course, like everything else in my life, it can also be used as a riser to put things at different levels. All right, oh, so could this. Check out this tobacco canister. It says on the back, let's see, 2 pounds tobacco. See that? That's pretty cool. And then on the front, Pens spells quality. Now that's some good advertising. This is a fabulous tobacco container. I'm guessing this is gonna go on eBay. Very cool. Okay, next thing, why did I buy this? I bought it because it was $3 and the lady clearly wanted to get rid of it. Sometimes that's the reason you buy something. But also because I'm kind of a sucker for wooden box. So was the lady's husband apparently, and that's why they had this wooden box. It's just a nice size. Now it has these pieces. It looks like it was for maybe some science kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure. And I don't totally get how, they don't really fit in a very clear way either. So I'll probably take these out and just use the box. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it on eBay. Maybe, because I think it goes like this. And then it has the little opening thing here. Like that. And then you've got these things. They don't exactly fit in. I don't understand. But anyway, it's a cool box. That much I know. And it's supposed to stand on its side. If you know what it is, tell me in the comments because I would love to know. So, cool wooden box. It's not super heavy, but it's well made. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I got that. And what else have I not shown you yet? Oh, I know. This chair. Isn't it beautiful? It's a child's chair, red paint. It's just, it's the kind of age that you just don't get except from something that's been sitting around for 50, 80 years. Yeah, so that baby is going in my booth as well. All right, last thing, I got some patterns. These are for toys, like for rag dolls and stuff like that. I'm gonna put these on Etsy because there are people out there who love making things. I know I do, although I don't usually use a pattern, but still, these are cool. I can remember my mom and my sister making a really cool rag doll when she was little. So would love to give that experience to someone. And then McCall's, check that pattern out. You might not realize that there is a market for patterns, but there for sure is. And some of them are hard to come by. McCall's tends to sell pretty well, so I might put that one out there. Then the last thing I wanted to show you is just different. It is vintage, not antique, but they are new in the package sheets. These can sell really well on eBay. These are a great pattern. They're such a pretty floral, and they're never been used. They're, new old stock. So is this Ralph Lauren 70-inch table cover. Isn't that beautiful? Never used. The sweet lady told me she had never used it, just was in the box. So that is also going on eBay. So as you can see, I had a really interesting assortment now I didn't show you everything. I have some dogs and a little bit of pottery and some other things that I picked up. But that's a lot of what I picked up for my booth and also for my eBay store. I am so glad you came with me to the vintage market, and I hope that you saw something that you found interesting. This channel is an integration of the things that I love, which includes selling things on eBay and making beautiful embroideries and hunting and repurposing vintage linens. So I think we got a little bit of everything today. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you again. Do hit subscribe, as Rebecca Allison would say. If we vibe, subscribe. I'd love to see you back here, and I would love to hear what you look for when you go to a vintage market, if there are particular things you always pick up. It's always so fun to hear about other people's collections. So thanks again for joining me, and I hope I see you soon. Bye.